Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Ari, and in today's video I'm going to be doing a tour of my cosplay slash craft room slash my mom's office, but I'm not touring that part. So I thought it'd be interesting maybe to show you my craft space and how I keep organized, as well as how I store my cosplay stuff. Maybe if you're looking for inspo for your own cosplay room and how to store your stuff and keep it organized. And also I just think it's interesting to watch how other people have their stuff and all that. So I hope that you guys find it interesting and maybe take some inspo of your own for your own craft room or how to keep your cosplays organized. And yeah, let's get into the tour. So this room is actually my bedroom. This is where I film, but this is not where I keep my cosplays. I used to have to store my stuff in this room, but we renovated the other room and now I'm able to store it in it. So let me take you guys to the other room. Alright, so this room is kind of a mess right now. It actually was worse of a mess before, but I cleaned it. But right now we've got like boxes and stuff. This is my brother's, this is even my stuff. So the lighting is really bad in here because it's really stormy outside, but I'm gonna try my best to give you guys the best tour I can. So let me show you around. This right here is my main storage, I guess you could say. So let me show you guys what's inside. And if you're wondering where we got this from, this is from IKEA. And yeah, so it's kind of a mess, but let me show you guys all what's in here. Okay, so I'm having to do a voiceover on this because my keychain was hitting my phone the entire time and being really annoying. But at the top of the shelf, I keep all my foam from previous projects, so it's just a bunch of scraps. And then on the next level, this is where I keep all my fabric scraps that are too big to fit in the other drawer I have for them, which you'll see later. You can see there's a lot of stuff from like Dio. I also have like a ton of like jean scrap fabric, and then just like some random stuff that I use for mock-ups and fur. Okay, and then on the shelf under it, this is where I just kind of keep most of my paint stuff. So on the very left, I have a bucket where I keep all my paint, and I like to label my stuff even though you can clearly see what it is, but I don't know, it just makes it easier for my eyes. And then in this bucket, so I try to keep mostly my paint brushes in here. I've got some dye in here. I mostly have paint brushes in here for the most part. And then I also keep my palettes in there. And then in the next one, this is just my miscellaneous. So I have like stuff for my Cricut machine in here. I've got vinyl, glitter, and just like random crap, some like gems, and it's just a bunch of random stuff. On the shelf underneath that, I have this organizer on the left here for most of my sewing stuff that doesn't fit anywhere else, and it's honestly been such a lifesaver. So on the top, I just keep a bunch of extra thread there. I have way too much thread, so I need another space for it. And then the next one, this is where I keep all my needles and pins, and then like stuff for my sewing machine I also like to keep in here. And then a hack that's so useful is keeping all your needles in an Altoids tin. It keeps them organized and it's just so much easier to keep track of them. The drawer under that, this is where I keep all my like pins, attachments, just things like that. And then underneath that, this is my button drawer. So yeah, there's buttons, and also have my heat and bond in here. And then the last one's just like band-aids and miscellaneous crap. Then next to that, I have a tin where I keep all my embroidery threads. And then this is where I keep all my beads. So the bottom ones are all like candy kind of beads. And then the top box is all like my nice beads. So it's mostly just like a bunch of glass beads. Right now I've got a bunch of like other crap in there, but for the most part, it's glass beads. And then this bin, I keep a lot of like drawing stuff in. So I've got pencils and markers. I've got colored pencils, crayons, and then I also have some extra beads, and then the bottom is all just yarn. Okay, and now this section, this is my cosplay section. So on the left here, this is my like accessories slash miscellaneous box. So just things that don't really go with specific cosplays. I keep them all organized in labeled Ziploc bags. So for example, these bra inserts, I use as like shoulder pads in my costumes. So I like to keep them all together in just one big bag. You can see here, I have gloves. I also have like ties, bow ties, stockings, just things like that in there. Then this other box, this is where I keep all my headbands, any ears I have, things like that. This box is just shoes, so there's nothing really in there. And then I keep my venti prop on the right. And then underneath, this is where I store all my wigs. So I have them separated into 2 boxes, one for short wigs and one for long wigs. And I keep them all stored in the bags they came in or other bags that I have. I do need more space for them because I'm kind of running out of room for them, but for the most part, this system has been working for me. It makes it a lot easier, especially when I'm looking for like a specific wig. And yeah, I just keep them in there with their hairnets and any accessories that they have. Also, I like to keep in the bag with them. And then on the side here, this is all my like extra bags that I have. I like to keep these because they're super useful for organizing stuff, and I like to keep a pile of them. So yeah, that's what I keep in this storage closet, and it works for me, and I think it's a pretty good system. Over here, this is where I keep a lot of like sewing and cosplay stuff in. So on top of here, this is just stuff from Fugo. I haven't found a spot for it yet, and I want to keep it all together, so I'm just keeping it there for now. Now in here, I love the way this drawer looks because it's so organized. On the side here, you can see I keep all my ribbons that are on spools in here. Over here, I have just like a bunch of rollers and stuff. And then back here, this is all thread. Like, I have so much thread. So I keep it in a big bag over here. Then I have my sewing scissors right here. And underneath, you can see this is my big thread box. So I have a ton of colors. And on the side here, I keep some zippers. And then on the top here, this is where I keep my fabric samples. So you can see I have a ton from Fabric Wholesale Direct. So that's the first drawer. The second drawer, this is my tools / wig styling drawer. So the tools is right here. So you can see I've got wire, I got a wire cutter. This is for jewelry. So I have an X-Acto knife and I have a box cutter, but that's just kind of what I have in there. Over here, this is where I keep my hot glue gun. So I keep it in there with the hot glue. So what I have, these are my pins. There definitely used to be a lot more. I've been losing them, but I keep them in the box and it keeps them mostly organized. In here, I like to keep all my clips, my mini combs, any hairnets I have, and any elastic ties, as well as wig clips in here. You can see I got a bunch of clips, combs, I've got an extra like wig hairnet, just things like that. Then this portion right here, this is all where I keep most of the glue. So I've got tacky glue, Gotsby glue, I've got my Tombow aqua glue, so that's where I keep most of that. Then over here on this side, I have all my combs, my boar bristle brush. In here, this is where I keep my scissors. I got my hairspray here. I have an apron here, back here, for like if I'm standing up while styling and I want to keep all my stuff in like pockets. Okay, next drawer. This is where I keep all my trims and just like little tiny fabric. So like this, you can tell these are just like really short. This is my like gold trim I got some lace, tulle. This is also tulle. So just like stuff like that. I just kind of stuff it in there basically. All right, down here, this is where I keep all my like scrapbooking stuff. So this is not so much cosplay related. The rest of this is just like really miscellaneous. And then this one, this used to be where I keep my clay, but I don't have any clay anymore other than the leftover from Dio. So I really just keep, this is my Dio build book, I keep it in here. And then I have a bunch of glue sticks that I won from a cosplay competition. They don't fit my hot glue gun, so I have to get a new one to use those. But yeah, so that's what I keep over in here. And then this is my sewing machine. So normally she's up on the table here, but because this is my mom's office, this isn't normally pushed out, but when it is, this is where I sew. So I used to have this entire workspace, but now I just got the small table. So now we're gonna go into the closet. So this is where I keep all my cosplays and anything that just doesn't fit anywhere else. This is where I keep it. This is where I keep all my stuff. So it's kind of a mess, but let me walk you through it. I have 2 shelves and I keep my wigs. So I have Jolene, I have Cockymane. All the way in the back is Ether. And then down here I have Dio, and then Bruno was on that wig head, but I took it out because I was filming something with it. I have 2 storage boxes here. So I keep a ton of cosplays in here, and I do keep them in bags that I get or my mom gives me. Then up here, this is where I keep all my hanging cosplays. This is Dio's pants. This is Dio. He has to be fixed up a little bit. And then I keep Gyro here, Johnny, Cockqueen, Caesar, just like the things that I don't really want to get wrinkled or I'm using a lot of. I also keep my petticoats up here. Okay, and then another thing that I do in here, because there's a shelf back here and I have a tripod and some wire, but normally it's not there. Normally I keep it down here in this box. So I'm not gonna show you guys right now because it's kind of difficult to get out. I keep my backdrop, I keep what I'm using for filming right now, my ring light, I keep all that in here, and it's a really long box. So it's long enough to keep everything in there, but it's nice. The only thing though is it's kind of annoying to get to, but yeah. And then anything else in here is pretty much like not really cosplay related. So for the most part, that's where I keep pretty much everything. That's pretty much the tour of my cosplay room. There's really not much to show, and I hope, you know, maybe it's helpful. Maybe gives you an idea on how you want to organize your stuff. I highly recommend the tote boxes. Those are so good. I used to just have all my stuff thrown in there, stacked up, and it was just taking up too much space and it wasn't working, so highly recommend. You can get them from Walmart pretty cheap. That's where I got mine, and they're definitely a lifesaver. And the other thing is saving any bags you get in the mail for packages, things like that. Great for organizing. You don't have to waste a ton of Ziploc bags, and sometimes Ziploc bags aren't even big enough. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope this was helpful.